in the middle of Bowling Green, Kentucky, on the campus of Western Kentucky, and inside an old-fashioned rivalry in this great basketball state, Louisville pays a visit on the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Steve Lapis. Jenny Dell joins us shortly. Throughout Western Kentucky, and in fact, less than half a mile from this arena, the devastation and the destruction of last week's tornadoes are extensive. But, Coach, it feels like this game, to this city, to this region, to this state, is a welcome escape.
You know what, Rich, when you grow up in New York City, you see a lot, but you don't see natural disasters like this. I couldn't believe it. So hopefully these people, these great people, can get away for 2 hours and see a good basketball game.
Oh, I think this will be a great basketball game and a great atmosphere here.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable building. It's always been very, very tough. And then they're 111 miles apart, these two schools. It's a tremendous rivalry.
And it's tougher for Louisville. They are without Malik Williams. That just broke about an hour ago. COVID issues, and that means the backcourt needs to step up.
Yeah, they are normally a team that scores most of their points in the paint. They have not shot the ball well from three. These two guys are going to need to shoot it better from three, especially Locke, who was a great three-point shooter at the University of Florida.
All right, let's do some AT&T Fast Analysis, brought to you by AT&T 5G. Wait till you get a load of Jamarian Sharp.
Boy, this kid is coming on like gangbusters. He's 7'5", the tallest basketball player in the country. He leads the nation in block shots. He intimidates so much in the lane. They're playing a lot more zone to keep him near the basket. He is a real force.
It will be loud, and it will be emotional. Louisville and Western Kentucky. CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Sonic. This is how we Sonic. And by Coca-Cola. Enjoy the real magic of the holiday season. Long history between Western Kentucky and Louisville. On the Hill, Louisville leads this series 42-39, and they've won the last 9. And they won the last meeting in 2020. Let's go down to the floor. And Jenny Dell. Hi, Jenny.
Hey there, Rich. Here we are just a week after tornadoes ravaged through 6 states. Western Kentucky being one of those the hardest hit. As of this afternoon, the death toll stands at 78, making it the deadliest storm in the state of Kentucky. Here in Bowling Green alone, there have been 17 deaths. So the Hilltoppers, they took Monday off from practice and spent the day cleaning up the city. Coach Stansberry told me the best practice they could have was not on the court, but out in the community. He said it was an opportunity to give back, but also a way to give his players some perspective of what happened. And guys, Louisville was looking for a way to contribute as well, so they put together a toy drive collecting hundreds of toys that they bust down and distributed last night.
You're right, Jenny. All those toys filled up one big bus. All right, Louisville starting lineup now. We told you that Malik Williams is out. Jalen Withers will get the start. We told you about Sharp, but Davian McKnight is the heart and soul of Western Kentucky. He makes them run. Chris Mack, in his 4th year, the Cardinals 7-3. They have played an ACC game. They are 1-0. Rick Stansbury, a long and great run at Mississippi State. In his 6th year here at Western Kentucky, 7-4, and coming off a really big win, a 23-point win over Ole Miss. No surprise, Sharp wins the tip. What kind of tempo?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Both these teams want to push it up, but this Louisville team defensively, both teams are great defensively, but different. Louisville played man-to-man 99% of the time. They will try to pack it in the lane.
Luke Frampton.
He's their best three-point shooter. They got to get out. Dre Davis looked like he slept on that a little bit. And now you see Western Kentucky. They've relying lately on this 2-3 zone. It's a great move because it keeps Sharp in the middle of the lane so he can do that.
Nation's leading shot blocker. That's number 55 already.
You want to have a defense where he's close to the basket. If you play man-to-man, they'll put him in pick and rolls all day. Now he just stands under the basket and doesn't go anywhere, and he is a force inside defensively.
That's McKnight, the lefty. Justice. And this place is rocking already.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you know, neither one of the, Louisville in particular has not shot the ball well this year. But they've got to get out on Frampton and Justice because those two guys are the two best shooters for Western Kentucky. From a perimeter standpoint, they are the main guys that got to be guarded.
A pair of threes in a 6-0 start.
I mean, Louisville's been holding people to 29% from the three-point line. One of the top 15 three-point defenses in the country. They get burnt twice in a row.
Sharp with a screen. McKnight got by him and lost the ball. It's a turnover.
He's a really good player. He averages 4 turnovers a game. That's the part of his game that he's got to solidify. He's got to get that down to 2 turnovers a game.
Louisville loses a double-double with Malik Williams. 11 points and 10 rebounds a game. And a big part of their offense.
And that's why they're going to have to do it in a different way. That's where you got to get the ball against that zone, that foul. They got lucky on that one. But you got to get the ball to the foul line area against a 2-3 zone. Try and make that big guy at least come up that far.
That was Dre Davis. It's not often that an altered shot goes in, but that shot was altered, and it went in. Another 3. This time Hamilton the miss. Justice.
Tough shot. And one of the things that Louisville does great, they're one of the better defensive rebounding teams in the country, do a terrific job of putting the body on people and boxing out.
Long 3. And an defensive rebound for McKnight.
That's one of the other things. McKnight averages almost 7 rebounds a game, and he's their point guard.
Matt Cross, new to the starting lineup a few games ago with a rebound. And Louisville turns it over.
And that's been the tough thing for both these teams. They both average over 14 turnovers a game. You see Louisville trying to push the tempo. One of the ways to beat a zone defense is to beat it down the floor. Chris Mack was telling us he wanted to do that. That's why you see them trying to push this pace a little bit.
Louisville's profile, high-level defense, struggling offense, a solid rebounding team, and the turnover's an issue.
Yeah, but when you're shooting 38, when you're shooting 29 from 3 and 42 from the field, you got to pick that up on the offensive end a little bit.
Motion is the trademark of a Rick Stansbury offense. Hamilton.
Could have called a foul there.
Samuel Williamson for Louisville with the rebound. Sweeping left-handed hook.
Yeah, but you know what? Sharp again caused that miss. He didn't block that, but he caused that.
Hamilton way off. And it goes to Louisville.
You know, right now, after watching these first 3 minutes and 9 seconds, Sharp affects a game in a big, it's going to sound stupid, big way.
And he wasn't in the starting rotation to start the season. Once they put him in, it feels like everything changed for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and he's been averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds, and almost 6 blocks, and he's getting better offensively every game.
He's Ralph Sampson-like, great hands, great feet, and he moves incredibly well. West is wide open, and that's important for Louisville.
And that was exactly what they're going to need to do in this game. Get it to the foul line, kick it out, and make a shot. Now, one thing you got to understand about Western Kentucky, they're one of the top 10 teams in the nation in terms of how many threes people take against them. You don't get layups against them because of the big guy. You end up shooting a lot of threes, and they play zone also.
Cross, quick trigger. Well, McKnight has the rebound. He's a good rebounding guard. He does everything well, this Davion McKnight. Hamilton in the paint. And to the line.
You get to the foul line, you kick it out to the wing, the zone can't react fast enough, you get an open shot. West has been a 40% three-point shooter in his career, so he is a capable shooter as well as a tremendous point guard.
And history tells you that Noah Locke and Jared West are going to shoot well from distance. They're just not doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, Locke especially, to be shooting 31%. He's a 40. He played 3 years at Florida and shot 40% from the three-point line. I mean, this kid is a career, one of the best shooters he was in the SEC.
And West at Marshall, last year 41% himself. Sidney Curry into the ball game for Louisville. Mason Faulkner in the game. Chris Mack has gone to his bench.
And Faulkner's a kid who averaged 17 points a game at Western Carolina. Another guy who's capable of putting the ball in the basket.
Inside out. Got a clean three. Cross missed it.
But if you're noticing, they're taking a lot of three-point shots, and they're not a good three-point shooting team. Keep an eye on that.
Justice.
And you see, the more that Louisville has to set up like this, the more Sharp becomes a factor in the game.
West, Sharp patrolling the paint in that zone. Williamson got him in the air and got by him, but missed the shot.
Whoa. I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't have to jump for a shot fake. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage just standing there with his arms up.
He's still raw, but man, has he improved light years from last year.
Yeah, he's obviously got to get a lot stronger.
He was open on a rim run. Corner three. Got it! Wow! That's Hamilton.
I mean, they are torching one of the better three-point defenses in the country right now.
Faulkner, head fake. Not many holes in this zone. Nice high-low. And a foul on the rebound. Sidney Curry. What a start for Western Kentucky.
Well, they've been a little up and down from the three-point line, but not so far tonight against one of the best defenses in the country. Justice knocks one out there. 4 out of 5 from the three-point line for the Hilltoppers. Up 8.
And back in Bowling Green, Kentucky, to help people affected by the Southern and Midwest tornadoes, text tornadoes to 90999 to give $10 to the American Red Cross Southern and Midwest Tornadoes Relief. And we've been here in Bowling Green for the last day and a half and have had a chance to go out into the community, and it's just the devastation and destruction is overwhelming. But the sense that you get, Steve Lapis, is that the resiliency, the compassion. There were many people who, when they found we were from out of town, not only thanked us for coming to call this game, but also just remarking about all the money and all the support from all over the country they've received.
You know, one thing about this country in general, the whole country comes together when it needs to come together, and this is what happened here with these people, and they're feeling the love they're getting from all over the country.
Jared West misses a three. Williamson with a putback. And on the offensive glass, where Louisville has an advantage.
And really, that's the big weakness of a 2-3 zone. You must crash the offensive glass, especially a team like Louisville that's a good rebounding team. They got to get on the glass hard against a team that doesn't know where to box you out.
Jarius Hamilton going hard to the bucket. This guy was a 5 playing the center role at Maryland last year, and Rick Stansbury has set him free. He's no longer back to the basket guy.
No, he's a much more versatile player than that. At Maryland, he only averaged 6-7 points a game.
Oh, that's
just took his eye off it.
Justice ahead. Oh, he got it in. And he's fouled.
I mean, this is just, he completely took his eyes off the ball. I don't know if he was looking to see where he was going to pass it or he was surprised to get it. But that was, if that's not an unforced turnover, then we don't have unforced turnovers.
This is a really tough road environment, and it's something that Louisville was well aware of. Chris Mack told us yesterday he likes playing in places like this. He's already been to Michigan State. They played a road game and won at NC State. But on this emotional Saturday here, this is a really a tough place and environment for Louisville.
But let's say this about Louisville. They're playing without their best player, and he's so important because they're a paint-scoring team, and that's what he does. But paint against the zone becomes very tough to come by. Even if he was here, it would be a lot harder today in that paint.
Malik Williams out.
He intimidates every shot. He's getting a hand up because his arms are so long.
Hamilton driving. I don't know that any other player in this game could have made that catch.
And Western Kentucky leading 20-7, but we just saw a real highlight. Look how sharp. If you're that big and you could just do this, you are a factor. We know what he does on the defensive end. That is really good hands right there, because that was not a great pass, but when you're that big, and he has listen, when we used to go out recruiting big guys, I tell my assistants, hands and feet. Even if he can't run, okay. As long as he can move inside that lane and he can catch, we got something. This kid can run the floor, too.
13-point lead.
A lot of potential in this kid.
Ellis pulls a three, hits a three. Ellis, the transfer from Tallahassee Community College, the junior college All-American the last 2 seasons.
And he's a lot of offense, this kid. I mean, he's 21 points off the bench against Michigan State, at Michigan State. This kid can score.
McKnight already has 4 assists. Sharp, the miss.
See, he's got to go up stronger on that one.
Jalen Withers in the ball game. Bench much deeper for Louisville than for Western Kentucky.
And they went man-to-man. This is a surprise. I would like to see...
Deep three, Faulkner.
I was going to say, now's the time to get him in a ball screen and bring him out to the top of the key or the three-point line so you can move around a little bit. I was surprised to see Western Kentucky go man-to-man there.
It's a big day for Mason Faulkner. He started his career here at Western Kentucky. He's from these parts, and he hits a big three off the bench.
I'm going to tell you, they're going to be zone next possession.
Justice around the screen. In the lane, a floater. No. Put back. Hamilton is fouled. In-state rivalry. Louisville has come to Bowling Green, and Western Kentucky's up 7. In this great basketball state, Western Kentucky on top of Louisville, 20-13. Let's go down to Jenny Dell with the governor of Kentucky, Andy Bashir.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. Now, Western Kentucky, especially right here in Bowling Green as well, was hit the hardest in that series of tornadoes. So what's the latest you can share with us about the recovery and relief efforts across the state?
It's been really amazing to see the whole world pour its love into Kentucky and Western Kentucky. We have thousands of people on the ground ensuring we can remove that debris, and we've had more donations, more help than anyone could ever ask for. We feel the love. We are grateful.
The Hilltoppers, the Cardinals, and University of Kentucky, these players, they're really trying to support the communities. What do you think that means to the people of Kentucky, seeing their teams come out and support them in that way?
Well, they're one of us. They're part of our people. They may come from all over, but they are here supporting us every step of the way. We appreciate them, and to everybody out there that has done even the smallest thing, we can feel that, and we're grateful.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jenny. Well done. Of course, we will see Kentucky coming up here. John Calipari also in on the effort. We'll take on North Carolina. That's later on the CBS Sports Classic coming your way from Las Vegas. Here, Western Kentucky is off to a quick start and a 9-point lead over Louisville.
And here they went back to that zone. You know, coaches are funny. You change defense, you give up a basket. Even though it was a three-point shot, you say, you know what, going back to the zone. I like the way that looked better. I have to agree.
And Sharp is on the bench for the first time. Isaiah Cozart is in the game in Louisville.
And more than half of Louisville's shots tonight have been threes. Now, normally, that's not good, but they've been doing a pretty good job here trying to, you know, get some pretty good looks against that zone.
Justice! Wow. 5 of 6 from distance. Noah Locke back in. This is Ellis launching a three. Comes up short. Justice has the rebound. Luke Frampton, Cozart with a screen. McKnight Skip pass. Corner, Justice. Goodness!
He did score 18 a game at IUPUI.
Locke rolls in a three. Much needed for Louisville. Noah Locke, the transfer from Florida. Look at this. 6 of 7 is Western Kentucky. Justice drawing a little more attention. Anderson floats one up. Williamson the rebound for Louisville. This is where Louisville usually makes their money, and that's in transition.
And you know, now with Sharp out of the game, they go man-to-man. Not a bad thing to try. Louisville's letting them go.
Faulkner. That's his second three, and Louisville starting to get some rhythm.
Yeah, came into this game 28% from the three-point line.
Down to 6. Western Kentucky is without Jalen Butts, one of their reserves, on what is already a thin bench. That's a walk and a turnover. Watch the premiere of CBS's new family medical drama, Good Sam, starring Sophia Bush and Jason Isaacs. Good Sam, Wednesday, January 5th on CBS. Rick Stansbury and the Hilltoppers. So a short bench. Butts is a guy that plays valuable minutes. Faulkner thought about a three. Withers inside. Good rotation. Locke. Yes! Here come the Cardinals.
And we talked about Locke in the open that with Malik Williams out, they would need to step up from the three-point line.
Frampton to the bucket. Louisville starting to dominate a bit on the boards. Here's the transition. Ellis backing in. Got through and is fouled.
Take a look at Cameron Justice. We used to tell our players, here he is. The more screens you set, the more shots you get. He sets a great back screen. They forget him for a second because the screener is the forgotten man. That's all the room that he needs to be able to make that shot. You set screens, you get shots. Guess what? Kids will screen if you tell them that. If they believe you, you show them that, they will screen.
Already with 15 points for a guy who last year was a graduate assistant. It's unbelievable on this staff. He had one more year of eligibility, decided to give it a go. And man, is he lighting it up. Sharp is back in the ball game, sucks up a rebound. This is as close as Louisville has been in a while. Down 3, McKnight doubled out high.
And you know, a lot of it happened when Sharp was out of the game.
Anderson at 3.
He was out of the game, and Louisville was much more comfortable offensively. Even though they were making threes, they just were much more comfortable.
14 threes have gone down. Locke misses. Anderson the offside rebound.
They've got to not fall in love with that, though, because it's not their thing.
Anderson goes down. He was bumped. Dre Davis with the foul. (31-25). Three-point shooting has been exquisite here, Steve Lapis.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, this Louisville team has struggled to shoot all year. Actually, Western Kentucky was 31% coming into the game. A lot of good looks, though. I know I'm supposed to be watching the three-point shooting. I'm seeing a lot of hands come up late, to be honest with you, and a lot of pretty good looks from the three-point line, which is contributing to the shooting that we're seeing. But yes, you still got to make them, and they're making them right now.
And that guy, Cameron Justice, has 15 already. Rick Stansbury, he's kind of like the coach on the court, too. I mean, he was a grad assistant coach last year. So Rick Stansbury really leans on him out on the floor.
It's a pretty good guy to have, you know what I mean, especially off the street. A guy who can really play and really shoot. Hey, one thing about this game nowadays, there's always a place for somebody who can make threes. That's it. That's the game.
David McKnight with the ball already has 7 assists in this ball game.
Yeah, he's a really good leader out there.
That's an open look, but a missed three. Jarius Hamilton.
Yeah, the only thing McKnight's not good at is shooting threes. He's 4 for 10 this year, but obviously only taking 10 threes. He's not comfortable doing that, but he's a very, very good player in a lot of areas.
Jamarian Sharp is back in for Western Kentucky. And the rebound of Hamilton of the Hilltoppers. This is a full house. This place holds almost 7,500. They probably could have sold a lot more tickets.
You know, if somebody said, okay, you know, Louisville's got 25 points, how many of those points would be in the paint? You say, oh my God, at least 15. They got 2 points in the paint in this game. 2.
Remember, they're without Malik Williams, and that's just too easy. Sharp again, and it leads back to 8. West, inside out, searching for the 3. Lock, stripped off of him. Luke Frampton.
I mean, here's what happens. Okay, run it from there. You're going to stop it right there. Now when you get that penetration, all these guys are in trouble. What are they going to do? No man's land, throw it up to the rim. That's why dribble penetration is the worst thing you can allow a team to do offensively.
Well, one thing Chris Mack told us, that the zone was a concern. And one of the things that Louisville wanted to accomplish was beat the zone back down the floor. But, I mean, when you're making shots, it's tough for the opponent to get out on the break.
Well, they have no fast break points. They've got 2 points in the paint. Luckily for them, they're knocking out 3s today, or it would really be a problem. The question is, can they do that for 40 minutes? They've been knocking out 3s and they're down 8.
I know you watch a lot of tape. The early tape of Western Kentucky looked nothing like this. But their game against Ole Miss, this is exactly who they were then. And the difference was Jamarian Sharp.
Well, and the bulk of their games early, they played man-to-man because he was not playing that much. Ever since they put him out there, they've been using the zone a lot more, and it's made a huge difference.
Scramble for the ball. And Jared West, the captain for Louisville, runs it down. Faulkner, who's hit a couple 3s. Sharp didn't leave his feet that time.
Exactly. He's got to stay down. He should never, ever jump before someone else.
Any mid-range jumper from the top of the lane is automatically altered, and Louisville has been long on those consistently.
If I'm Chris Mack, the thing I'm most disappointed in is the way they played defensively. I mean, they were allowing 38%. Remember, they were 22 in the nation defensive field goal percentage coming into this game, and they have not defended with urgency tonight.
McKnight, shot clock down. And a foul. Not sure if it's 3 free throws or 2. Dre Davis with the foul. Let's look for the feet.
Not a good foul. It was a foul. It really was a foul on the ground. First, he put his hand on his chest when the ball was still being dribbled. Should have called the first foul, which would have been on the ground.
Well, the fact that they're checking the replay tells you that it's on the shot.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. My point was they should have called a foul before it even got to that.
I think Chris Mack is in agreement with that. Hard from this angle.
You'll see it right here. Watch Dre Davis's right hand go right there. I mean, that's a foul. That's a foul. Now, what happens after that, I get it. But that was a foul to start with.
And it is 3 free throws for Davion McKnight, the sophomore, Shelbyville, Kentucky. Great defender, great leader, and the heartbeat of this team. Wednesday, January 5th, the longest pit stop in Amazing Race history is finally over. New teams are back racing around the world for $1 million. Join host Phil Kogan for the season premiere of The Amazing Race, Wednesday, January 5th on CBS. Rich Waltz, Steve Lapis, Jenny Dell, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and a very emotional and loud crowd here. The devastation of the tornadoes last week. This is one of the hardest hit areas in the state of Kentucky. The community, the region, the state has rallied, and they're having a fun time right now watching this great rivalry.
I'll tell you one thing, Rich, they're really missing Malik Williams. I mean, he's a very good player, but they really have had nothing in the lane.
Cross. That's a nice look. Wheeler with the find. Roosevelt Wheeler, the freshman, with the assist.
You get the ball to the foul line area, and the thing you need to do when you play zone is you always have to look for cutters cutting from behind you. I remember watching Pete Carrill with the great Princeton coach. He played one of the best 1-2 matchup zones ever, and I remember his players would constantly be turning their heads. Oh, another lob.
McKnight to Sharp.
My point is when you play zone and you're in that back line, you got to always be looking behind you for guys cutting.
McKnight has 8 assists already. A floater. Sharp cleans it up.
And this guy's getting all these lobs, and really the one thing that he does really good is pick and roll and run to the rim, be a rim runner. He hasn't even really done that in this game.
The run has built the lead back to 11. Biggest lead in this half was 13.
Here comes one now.
McKnight driving. McKnight blocked from behind. Cross may have gotten it.
And you're going to see here, yeah, I mean, I don't know why. How could Jared West be the only guy back there on a guy 7 for 5? He's 5'11".
12 field goals, 11 assists, 8 of them for Davion McKnight, who is out really for the first time. Into the ball game, Sherman Brashear. Faulkner. Sharp has the rebound. Oh, Hamilton, and that's an offensive foul.
I like to see that one.
Western Kentucky, an 11-point lead. Western Kentucky, an 11-point lead over Louisville. Let's go down to Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Yeah, Jamarian Sharp's the tallest player in the nation. He was 6'6" as a freshman at Hopkinsville High School. That's about an hour from here, but he didn't play much in high school. So coach actually went to recruit another player during Jamarian's junior year, and Stansbury nudged their head coach, and he said, what's the deal with the tall kid? At this point, he was 7 feet tall, and he said, well, he needs a little experience. He's a little weak, but if you want to see him, I'll work him out a little during halftime. So the rest of the team went into the locker room. Jamarian stayed out, did some work after the game. Coach Stansbury said it was his dream. He told him it was his dream to be a Hilltopper, but needed to work on his grades a little bit. So he went to junior college, grew to 7'2" there, and then grew to 7'5" when he got here to Western Kentucky. His dad 6'9", mom 6'3", guys.
Wow. And Jenny, they've got him for 2 more years.
They do, and right now he's at 230. The strength and conditioning coach and nutritionist are trying to get him up to 250, guys.
All right, good stuff. Faulkner in the corner. Louisville out of the break, looking for a bucket. Cross drives, dumps it over Sharp, and out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, this kid gets 20 pounds on him. Then he'll be able to establish some position in the low post. He doesn't really score right now with somebody leaning on him with his back to the basket. It's all these rim runs and lobs and things like that. So if he can develop a little bit of a post game by getting stronger, that's going to make a huge difference.
They're somewhat reminiscent of Taco Fall, who kind of came out of nowhere and had to develop. And
I think this kid runs better.
Yes, and hands and feet better.
Yeah. More lively legs.
The Cavaliers now is Taco Fall after a run with the Celtics. Justice, tough catch, tough distance, no problem.
I'll tell you one thing. If I'm Chris Mack at halftime, I am lighting into these guys about their defensive effort. It is not up to what it's been all year.
Cross answers. Justice has 18. Cross drills that one, his first 3. He's got 5 in the game.
18 of their 29 field goal attempts have been from three-point line.
Frampton thought he had a baseline cut. And it's a turnover, an 11-point lead with 2:22 left in this first half.
The thing that hurts about that is, just to tell you about what Sharp is doing, Louisville is 3 for 11 from inside the arc. They've got 3 out of 11 from inside the arc. That's the effect that he has. Now they're man-to-man. I would try to get him outside. They have not tried to put him in a pick and roll when they've gone man-to-man.
That's one of the reasons they play mostly zone, but he's man here. Ellis, man, is that altered.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, I think that when they go man-to-man, the first thing you have to do is get his man to come out and set a high screen.
He leads the nation in block shots. He has to lead the nation in altered shots.
I mean, I've seen 5 or 6 already in this game.
Justice. Oh, open again.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're going to hedge a pick and roll with him, you better get back quick, because he can move those feet and get down that lane very well.
Better be a tall hedge.
Yeah, tall hedge and a quick one. And when you get back quick, you got to body him, because obviously he's too big.
Cross turns, faces, and hits. Nice soft touch from Matt Cross, the transfer from the University of Miami in Florida. He had a big game last year against Louisville as a Hurricane and then transferred in this year. Again, if you're just joining us, Malik Williams, the best player for Louisville this year, is out. COVID protocol, ball on the floor. Cross wins the battle. Louisville has numbers and finished by West.
And Jared West, the 3rd highest in steals of active players in the country. You saw why there. He caused that turnover on that last possession.
He is one of the best defensive guards in the ACC. And he has had McKnight as his assignment. McKnight's got 8 assists and a couple turnovers. Hamilton. Why not?
I mean, 46 points.
9 of 11 from distance.
56% from the field.
Corner 3. Answered there. L. Ellis. Final seconds. First half. What a wild one. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam, Clark, and Seth get you caught up on all the scores and highlights of a very busy Saturday. After the break, we're headed to New York. In Bowling Green, Kentucky. All Hilltoppers right now. CBS College basketball coverage is sponsored by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And by Buick, the official SUV of the NCAA. Great halftime here at Western Kentucky, and great shooting by both teams, especially Western Kentucky in that first half. Rich Waltz along with Steve Lapis. Jenny Dell will join us shortly. Cameron Justice is an incredible story, and he's having a game of his life right now.
Well, 5 for 5 from the three-point line. He's one of those guys, like most great shooters, he knows he's going to shoot it before he catches the ball. Always ready, always with a very quick release. He gets it up there quick. This kid, they need to find him and play with a little more urgency on the defensive end, Louisville.
Progressive Insurance first half stats. Exceptional three-point shooting, certainly for Western Kentucky, and not bad at all for Louisville. They are 9 of 19. And we check in with Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach Stansbury, and he was really pleased with how this team has performed in the first half. He said they're feeding off the energy in this arena. So I said, what do you need in the second half? He was like, listen, if we could do exactly what we did in the first half, I'll be really happy. He said, as far as defensively goes, they need to pick their poison, whether they want to pull the big man away from the basket or leave him in there, guys.
Yeah, that's a conundrum, Jenny, for sure. And, Coach, the other thing for Chris Mack, he can't right now, if Western Kentucky's making shots, he can't beat that zone back down the floor.
No, what he's got to do is he's got to start playing defense first, and then the offense will come. But a little bit more urgency on the defensive end will help them offensively to get out in transition, make a couple of steals. But right now, their defense has been very flat, and they're normally a tremendous defensive team.
First touch is Western Kentucky's. Quick drive, Hamilton got it up and in. Darius Hamilton, one of the most improved players in the country.
The thing about him is he's a very tough cover because he can put the ball on the floor a little bit, and he can make threes, so he's a tough guy, strong, tough to keep out of that lane. They went to that zone again.
Cross kicks, lock, misses the three. And a rebounding foul on Dre Davis.
That's a really good box out there.
That's his third personal.
You know, this is a little out of character. Now, they are playing without their best big man, Louisville, and Malik Williams, but a little out of character. They normally shoot about a third of their shots are threes. Now, in this game, they've been over half their shots are from the three-point line.
Travian McKnight with the ball has had an exceptional game so far. 8 assists. Blows by McKnight. Fouled.
That was a strong move, I'll tell you. I was shocked that he was able to get that to the rim as well as he did, taking a pretty good hit.
The game plan for Chris Mack was don't let him go left. That's easier said than done. Tomorrow, it's time to celebrate the holidays with a CBS original movie. Christmas Takes Flight. Tomorrow, 8, 7 Central, CBS. Happy holidays, Coach.
Yeah, same to you, Rich. You know, that's why all of this that's happened down here, if you think about it, it's happening this time of year. No time of year would be good, but this time of year to be going through all this, too, is just an absolute shame.
Of course, Louisville showed up yesterday with a busload of toys for the local kids. Withers, sharp for the block.
I mean, he tried changing his shot, and he got it squatted to the floor.
Hamilton to McKnight. Frampton rises. Biggest lead in this game is 14. Right now, a 13-point lead for Western Kentucky. Lock. That's a soft touch.
He's played better tonight. You know, that's a good sign for them because they need him to play the way he did when he was at Florida.
He's had to make a few adjustments. He's got the ball in his hands a little more than he did at Florida. McKnight with a rare turnover, and West is right there to collect it. Faulkner a couple threes in that first half. Block falling away. That's 2 sweet buckets, and both of them over Sharp.
Yeah, that was a tough shot, getting to dribble penetration into the lane that time.
Louisville has turned up the dial defensively. Noah Locke with his 13 points. Leads Louisville just a step back.
That's the toughest one that he took tonight. He didn't make it. Make him go off the dribble. All those ones he had in the first half were all off the catch. Make a guy like that put it on the floor.
Cross, quick trigger. West thought about it. Faulkner, good ball fake. Sharp's waiting. Oh, he got it up and over Mount Sharp.
Yes, that was Sharp coming right at him, and he shot that thing 12 feet into the air. That is a floater.
A nice run here by Louisville. And a steal. This is Withers. Sharp fouled him. Free throws coming. Sharp's first foul.
Watch how high this thing goes up in the air. He sees him coming. That almost went up to the top of the backboard. That's a pretty good floater.
You're talking 14, 15 feet.
That thing was up there.
At that altitude. But you sense a different attitude with Louisville here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to have brought a little bit more of the defensive intensity now. This is a guy, Withers, all freshman in the ACC last year, averaged 10 and almost 8 rebounds a game, and he's averaging 3 points a game in his last 5. He started earlier in the year. Chris Mack put him on the bench. This kid's got talent, but I thought maybe today he'd get going because no Malik Williams, it would open things up for him. Hasn't been real good so far.
7-0 run by Louisville, within 6. And a turnover. And all of a sudden, Western Kentucky starting to wobble.
Well, you take a look at the defense that time. That time they pushed Western Kentucky out well beyond the three-point line, put a little more pressure on them. I mean, this team averages almost 8 steals a game, Louisville, and they only had 2 in the first half.
Locke feeling it. Justice. He's missed 2 threes now here in the second half. Ooh, almost over and back. Cross with a 3. Louisville, the run continues.
Well, they're starting to make Western Kentucky take some tougher shots. And look at the pressure now. There's another steal.
Locked with the foul. Chris Mack enraged.
Matt Cross, the Trent, now he's wide open there.
Turnovers. Defensive intensity. That's always been a trademark of Chris Mack, whether he was playing for Pete Gillen at Xavier. And his great run at Xavier as a head coach. And there's McKnight.
Tough shot there. Well, he has a great, he might not be a good three-point shooter, but he has a great mid-range game.
The run is snapped. Lock probing. Faulkner.
Tough shot. It's a couple of bad ones now last 2 possessions.
McKnight full speed ahead. And a foul. Free throws when we get back. Louisville closer, down 5. Western Kentucky by 5. Our fast analysis presented by AT&T 5G.
You know, 8 points, 6 rebounds, only 2 blocks, which I think he's had more than that, or it certainly looks that way. He just affects the game on the defensive end so much, and he's an improving offensive player. And the thing about him is he never misses a shot because he knows what he can do, and he takes all these lobs, all these rim runs. But what he does defensively in a game is really tough.
And I think it's fun for the country to see this kid who's seemingly come out of nowhere. He hasn't played a lot. He was at junior college a couple of years. Jenny had a great story of how Rick Stansbury found him on the bench in a high school game as a junior. And he has improved by leaps and bounds just in this season. He wasn't in the starting rotation for the first few games.
No, and let's face it, being 7'5" is definitely a weapon in the game of basketball, but long arms, long legs, can run the floor, good hands. That's one thing that he's really shown us. Gets stronger, a lot of potential there.
Rich Stansbury also has a transfer waiting for eligibility, and that's Keith Williams, a great player from Cincinnati. Pocket pass and Wheeler with a 2-hand flush.
Yeah, that's a great point. Keith Williams was a great player for Cincinnati. Averaged 14 a game in Cincinnati. I mean, he can really play. They get him eligible. I don't know where they're going to play him.
West is just an incredible defender for Louisville.
He really is.
Cross has it. West collects it. Louisville's defense has been really good in the second half. Noah Locke from the corner. Louisville within 2 now.
That's what they've been waiting for from this kid. Now, he's had 5 games this year where he's made 3 threes, but he has been really inconsistent. 31% coming into the game from the three-point line. Different player today.
14-point lead. It's down to 2. McKnight against West. This is a great battle. McKnight misses, tips, sharp. Not his game. And he misses the 12-footer. And we check in with Jenny Dell.
Yeah, I was in the huddle with Coach Mack. He said that's the energy we need the rest of this game. His message was pick up, turn, put pressure on Western Kentucky without fouling. He said over and over again, the ball pressure is rattling them. And he finished the huddle by saying, man offense, guys.
All right, good stuff, Jenny.
There's no doubt that it's the defensive pressure has been turned up 4 notches for them in this game.
Open, Hamilton, and he misses the 3. And the threes, which dropped at a dizzying pace in the first half. Not so much here for Western Kentucky. Stripped there. Justice steps through. Fouled and scores.
Bad decision by Faulkner on the offensive end for Louisville. Led to that turnover and a nice finish by Justice right there. Made a bad decision going into the lane. A nice Euro step. And that was one of the things that, for the officials this year, they've decided spin moves, Euro steps, step backs. They're going to be a little bit more lenient. I'm not saying that was a travel, but they're going to be a little bit more lenient. If they're not 100% sure when the guy picked up his foot, they're not calling travels.
So a little more Euro-friendly, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Three-point play in 21. 57. 52. 6 minutes in. Cut off. Sharp just looming there in this zone in the paint. West rotates.
Oh, he got that one.
His third of the game. He's altered maybe 5 or 6 at least. Ball pressuring. That's a problem. McKnight. Hilltoppers take it back. McKnight is hurt. Slow to get up. You can see him, number 20, bent over. Lob, Sharp the catch, and the finish.
I mean, that was a really good catch and a soft touch off the glass. You can throw him passes blind. He's so big, just throw it up there somewhere.
Louisville was within 2. Right now, a 7-point lead.
Look at this. And just throw it up as high as you can. You know, that dribble penetration is leading to a lot of those open looks, because when they help and leave him, he's under there with West again.
Williamson runs into Sharp. And the foul, a reach. I believe that's Josh Anderson. Actually, they're going to call it on McKnight, his first. 14-point lead for Western Kentucky.
Wow.
Louisville got within 2.
How about Western Kentucky? They've got 4 fouls on them the whole game. They're number 2 in the nation. They only foul 12 times a game. People shoot 7 free throws against them a game. That is unheard of. Louisville hasn't taken 1 free throw in this game yet.
That's always been...
No, 1 for 2, I'm sorry. They've taken 2.
That's always been a Rick Stansbury thing, too. Even at Mississippi State, they make more free throws than their opponents take. Justice runs it down.
They were number 1 in the country last year, plus 74 over what their opponents took. They made.
Hamilton's drive, fouled by Ellis. His second.
You know, Faulkner and Williamson made a couple of bad decisions on the last 2 possessions. They got to be careful. Trying to force something that wasn't there.
You know, part of the puzzle for Chris Mack in Louisville is getting all these different players from different places pulling on the rope at the same time. And that's it. Coaches across the country are struggling with that. A lot of transfers in, but those parts don't necessarily fit your program.
No, and you're right about that. It does take time to put it together, but it's not like the old days when I was coaching. You couldn't practice till October 15th. Now they're practicing all year round, these guys, a couple hours a week. So it is a difference.
Jarris Hamilton, one of the transfers for Western Kentucky. A couple years at Boston College, last year at Maryland. He misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Ellis going to the bucket. Sharp is out of the ball game as they have Cozart in for Western Kentucky.
Now's the time to go to the basket.
Strong move. Anderson.
At that time, Louisville fell asleep.
Wow! What a pass. The catch by Withers. Got it to Wheeler, and he flushes it home. That's a big bucket for Louisville. Hilltoppers by 7. Wednesday on CBS, star-studded event paying tribute to America's best. Special guest musical performances from today's biggest names. The Kennedy Center Honors, Wednesday, 9, 8 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. What you got, Coach?
Well, you want to know why Chris Mack called timeout? Look at here, transition defense. 1, 2, 3. five guys right there. Well, not 6. I got to take that 5 away. But look where they are. You got to locate people. You got to know where everybody is much earlier than that. You allow a guy like Anderson to get ahead of steam. Now you can't. You want to pick him up at the foul line? Way too late when he's on the run. That's why Chris Mack called timeout there. He was upset at that transition defense, as well he should be. You get back into the game, and then all of a sudden you give an easy one like that.
And you see the defensive numbers not great. They are one of the better defensive efficiency teams in the country.
Yeah, they came into this game number 12. Now, it's early, but they have played a half-decent schedule. You know, you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, but it's not as early. It's not like in November when you look at those things and, hey, it doesn't mean anything.
Jamarian Sharp not in there right now. Shot clock rolls down, one kicked. And a turnover and a timeout. In the Commonwealth, Hilltoppers. CBS Sports College basketball coverage is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Bright House Financial, build for what's ahead. And by AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. Diddle Arena is filled, and it is intense, 61-54. They're feeling good about basketball, and they're feeling good about football because Bailey Zappi, the electric quarterback for the Hilltoppers, had a day in his bowl game against App State, 62 career touchdowns, and they almost have topped at 61 points, 59 for Zappi. Joe Burrow had the old record of 60. He did that in 15 games. Zappi, 62 touchdown passes, 14 games. Now Louisville. 7, Faulkner spinning. He was fouled. McKnight will check in with Jenny Dell.
Yeah, I was talking in that huddle with Coach Stansberry, and he asked his players, he said, how many team fouls do we have? And they all said 2. He goes, how many do they have? They all said 7. He goes, all right, let's get to the free throw line, fellas. So expect them to be a little bit more aggressive in the paint, guys.
That's a good call, and that is a decided advantage for Western Kentucky. They get to the line, they get a lot of points there.
Yeah, you know, they outscore their opponents by 4 points a game from the free throw line. And yeah, they get there, there's no question. But the big thing about them is they don't foul. I mean, it's just amazing. They have 4 fouls in this whole game. So, I mean, you think about that at the end of the game, especially, you can be more aggressive and not worry about 1-and-1s or 2 shots. I mean, that really helps.
How much of that is the zone defense?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of it, there's no doubt. But even when they play man-to-man, this is historically, Stansberry's teams do not foul.
Anderson came up short with a rebound by Jalen Withers.
That was a terrible pass because he threw it to the wrong guy. He threw it to a guy on the run that really is not comfortable catching the ball and handling it in that part of the floor.
McKnight against Withers in the lane.
Tough. I can see why Rick Stansberry liked Terrence Stansberry played for Temple years ago when I was an assistant coach. Rick Stansberry likes that guy.
Good work, Withers. Even with Sharp in, Roosevelt Wheeler got the loose ball and the putback.
And this is a guy who doesn't play really hardly ever. He's playing only because of Malik Williams' absence.
Williams out. COVID protocol. Western Kentucky is without Jalen Bucks, one of their best reserves. Sharp's fouled. He'll go to the line. He's not great at the line.
Now you're going to see McKnight here get by his man. This is just a really tough floater there.
Six of 16. Tonight, 9 Eastern, Road to the Final Four continues on CBS Sports Network. Number 13, Auburn, on the road in St. Louis against Travis Ford's Billikens, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
See, that's where the weight's going to help this kid. I mean, to only have taken 17 free throws on the season at his size doesn't make a lot of sense. Got to be able to catch it in the low post and get people to foul him.
12 points. Free throws. And the lead stretches back to 7. Corner 3. McKnight off the West miss.
You know, this is one of those games, if you're Louisville and you're Chris Mack, you say, can we just get the lead one time? You got to, just to try to put that kind of heat on Western Kentucky. They've been down the entire game. They got within 2, and they can never get over the hump. Now it's back to 7.
Hamilton, step back, 3.
Tough shot.
Louisville gets the basketball.
Well, Louisville went from a paint team to a three-point shooting team today. 11 for 26.
Faulkner's open. 11 for 27.
Yeah, it's not a great possession. You know, get some kind of ball movement. Don't just come down against a zone and, you know, let a bomb go.
Pick and roll. McKnight. Oh,
great catch.
And finish.
That is a hard catch. Don't get me wrong, that was kind of a bullet. It was in his chest area, but that thing was thrown hard.
9 assists for McKnight. Cross, straight on. Anderson the rebound. Leads at 9. We're under 9 minutes left. West trying to keep him from going left. And he fouls him. It's tough to pry the ball from this guy.
Well, take a look at the pick and roll. We're going to stop it right there. This already, you got to get over that. So this guy doesn't have to give that much help, because when he rolls, you're dead. So you give too much help like that because the guard is not getting over the screen or going behind it, whatever the coaches told him he should do in this game. But one thing about Louisville, they have not defended. As good as they are defensively, they have struggled defending pick and rolls this year.
Jamarion Sharp might be the best-kept secret in college basketball, and today I think that secret is out.
There's no doubt he's the best-kept secret.
McKnight misses front end.
You know, it's amazing how a team that's that good defensively normally is that weak against defending pick and roll.
Long, Faulkner, West in the backcourt for Louisville. Faulkner whips one. This is locked. Step back. 3, no. Western Kentucky hasn't run a whole lot. Anderson almost fell. Sharp's calling for the ball.
Yeah, I would throw it to him. He's got to post up strong, though, and post up big. He's just kind of standing up right now. Got to get low.
McKnight, that was contested and tipped. Follow and a foul. Luke Frampton goes to the line. Louisville's had some nice wins. In the Bahamas, Mississippi State and Maryland. They went to NC State and won. Their losses to Paul, who's good this year, on the road at Michigan State, and Furman. In Western Kentucky, you know, the start of the season, they had opportunities. They lost to Minnesota and South Carolina, and number 16 Memphis, all by double digits. But what they did to Ole Miss with Sharp as the centerpiece, they are continuing that here today.
And, you know, Kermit Davis is one heck of a coach. There's no doubt what they did. I was surprised it was like that. 71-48, I believe.
Lock. Cross driving. Lock, deep 3. Oh, too deep. There was more time on the clock. They had 7 on the shot clock when he launched that. You see the drought for Louisville. Justice had the big first half.
Don't dribble too much in front of West.
And a foul a long way from the bucket. Game summary, and this is a surprise. Rebounding is a strength of Louisville and a weakness for Western Kentucky. But the Hilltoppers a 32-24 advantage. They have a terrific point guard in Davian McKnight.
Yeah, he's really a good player. I mean, he runs the show, plays hard, very good defensively, averages 6 assists a game, one of the best in the country in that. Just a good all-around player, and he is really much better floor game today in terms of his turnovers, not turning it over like he has. He's averaged 4 turnovers a game for the season, but a big, strong, tough kid.
He's an assist and 5 rebounds away from a triple-double. They've had 2 triple-doubles this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a rarity. He has one of them, so he has a chance. He's that kind of guy. He could have 2, and the other guy is our man Sharp, who could have it with, McKnight has it with assists, points, rebounds, assists, and Sharp has it points, rebounds, and blocks.
Sharp's got 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks here. To the line is Western Kentucky. Such a unique story of Cameron Justice. And with more on that, let's go Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Yeah, I hope to get that story in momentarily, but something to keep an eye on. Going into that last huddle, Cam Justice was grabbing at his left wrist, shaking it out, so he was in some pain during the huddle, but obviously out there. Could be something to keep an eye on, though, obviously leading the team with points right now, guys.
Yeah, you're right, Jenny. 23 now for Justice. And the lead is back to 12. 14 was the biggest lead. Louisville got within 2. Ellis, Bogan. Bounce pass kicked away, and a foul on Western Kentucky. Roosevelt Wheeler with the reach.
And Louisville was, Western Kentucky was man-to-man on that possession.
As you pointed out, not a lot of team fouls in this game for Western Kentucky. Just their 4th of this half.
You're not getting any points at the free throw line against them.
Cameron Justice to foul, his first person. 7'5", Jamarian Sharp in the middle of this zone. Has been such a weapon. West off the screen. Runs into Sharp. That's where it ends. Fulton. Anderson. And free throws.
Louisville just not sharp for long stretches. You know, they have a couple of minutes, and they just can't sustain anything.
2 free throws coming. And now we go to Jenny for more on Cameron Justice.
Yeah, you were talking about that story. Well, in February 2020, Western Kentucky started looking at the process of getting an extra year of eligibility for Cam Justice because he missed a ton of time when playing at Vandy. Then COVID hit, so he got a real job in sales in Huntington, West Virginia. So he went to a Hilltoppers game at Marshall, talked to Coach Stansbury, said he wanted to get into coaching, and he became a grad assistant in academics. Now, a month later, Coach was putting together a little scrimmage with former players to give them some competition, and he dominated. So they then again started the process of getting him back on the team. He was cleared on November 10th, guys. But the only problem is he was getting married that weekend, so he had to wait until the 14th to actually play.
Yeah, rehearsal dinner ran in the way of the game. That's a lock jumper.
When I was reading his bio, I saw his first year in college was 2015. I was like, I almost was coaching then. That's unbelievable. No, it wasn't. But 2015, this is 21, 22.
And it was Noah Stansbury, the coach's kid, who's on the bench for the Hilltoppers, who tipped Dad off and said, hey, he's still got it, Dad.
Yeah, well, hey, coach's son, he knows what a guy who can play looks like.
And there is Kaylee Justice, 71-60. He had to call Rick Stansbury and say, Coach, I know we got a game Friday night, but I'm getting a little pushback from the family that I'm going to miss the rehearsal dinner. The wedding was on Saturday. Had the wedding. Had a very abbreviated honeymoon on Saturday night, and then drove to Asheville for a game. And got in the game, hit a 3.
Hey, look at this, though. You're going to be married for 40, 50 years, hopefully. You're only going to play for 4 or 5. So what the heck?
Or 6.
Or 6.
McKnight with the foul. 11-point lead for Western
I might go home and he gets some pushback when I go home if my wife's listening.
McKnight, 3 personals.
I tell you, Louisville, they just have to play with a little bit more sense of urgency. They played good defense, and they have a couple of really bad possessions on offense. They really don't have anybody to throw the ball to inside, but you got to throw it to the foul line area against this zone.
Because they don't have Malik Williams today. That's a difficult drive. Ellis sharp knocked it away.
Difficult drive with that big man in there.
Look at Anderson with the finger roll.
He has the second most dunks in Western Kentucky since 2010, 97. This guy can fly.
Crowd coming to their feet. Lock.
That's... just not a great, now they got to come with the full court pressure. Got to do something to change this game around.
Justice is fouled by Cross. If you're just joining us, we're in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And of course, the tornadoes that hit here a week ago, this was one of the hardest hit areas of the state. The devastation and the destruction. Rick Stansbury canceled practice early in the week. Jenny talked about it at the outset of the show. And instead of practice, took his entire team out into the community. They spent the whole day with gloves and boots clearing debris. 17 perished here in Bowling Green, 76 around the state. And this community, which not only has come together, but they've had support throughout the region, throughout the state, from all over the country. This game, and you said it at the outset, it really comes at a perfect time for these fans. It's an escape from everything they've been through.
And what they've been through, you have to see it to believe it. You know, I mean, I know the pictures, everybody around the country has seen them, but to see it and to see absolute destruction and like 20 feet to the left, fine. It's unbelievable. You see it's destruction and then a house that's fine that just got missed. Just what these people, I mean, to lose your lives, everything you have in there like that, and people losing their lives, obviously, just a devastating thing to see.
Officials right now I think there was a substitution issue. That's why there's a stoppage in play. Justice to the line. Rick Stansbury had a great quote after that trip out with his team. He said, people have lost so much here. He said, we don't have any problems. We play a game. A lot of the problems that players, coaches, the basketball bubble think they may have, those are not problems.
Definitely not. If this didn't put things in perspective, I don't know what will.
Biggest lead. Ellis kicks. Lock. Sharps in the middle. Faulkner misses a three.
31 three-point attempts. You know, it's no secret, it's no mistake that they are in the top 10 in the country with three-pointers against them. You can't get anything in the lane against that zone, so you end up having to shoot a lot of threes. And that's what Louisville's been forced to do, and they don't shoot it well enough to just beat you from the three-point line.
Justice took a look at the shot clock and then threw it away.
And I think that's what Rick Stansbury says is, okay, this is what we're going to play. You want to shoot 60% of your shots from the three-point line, go ahead. But guess what? You better make a whole bunch to beat us because you're not getting anything in that lane.
Coach on the floor is Justice. Coach on the bench is Stansbury. His shoe is broken. And he plays on.
I wouldn't take him out either. I mean, he set a tone early in this game in terms of coming out ready to go.
You need the equipment room to mobilize here and get a new shoe for the next whistle. I mean, that shoe was flopping around. Ellis hits a three, and we'll see if Louisville has one more run left in them.
Well, if they do, it's now.
McKnight. McKnight. Oh. McKnight.
This upper body. He can take a hit and keep on ticking.
A foul on Sharp. Hilltoppers up big. 3:18 left. Coming up next, we're headed to Las Vegas, CBS Sports Classic, North Carolina and number 21, Kentucky. Keep it right here for more college basketball on CBS. It's a quick scouting report, certainly, and it should be noted that John Calipari and Kentucky also have contributed heavily to the tornado relief effort. Game reset. Western Kentucky on top, plenty of timeouts.
I mean, if Louisville's going to make a run, they better start putting some pressure on defensively. They tried to pick up full last time down.
Faulkner hits the free throw. Mason Faulkner started at Western Kentucky, then went to Western Carolina with a graduate transfer at Louisville. He's had some nice moments in this game. Got 12 points. Full court pressure. McKnight has been brilliant. Justice got new shoes in that timeout, by the way. That's a difficult angle.
Yeah, I mean, you want to use some clock, not take a shot like that. I'm not saying you should hold the ball, but you got to get good shots. We're up by 12.
Going for a three. West gets a screen. Into the corner cross. Nice rebound by Wheeler.
He didn't really make a clean catch there.
Anderson lost it on the tip. West.
You're right, Jared West is a really good defender.
He had an exceptional career at Marshall. Cross goes to the line. 2:37 left.
This is exactly what Western Kentucky doesn't want. They don't want the clock stopped and Louisville putting points on the board with the clock stopped.
Matt Cross, he's just a sophomore. Excellent free throw shooter, and he misses the front end. Hamilton early in the shot clock.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't take that one.
Rick Stansbury is upset, and West makes him pay. That's a 5-point turnaround there.
That'll drive you nuts as a coach.
9-point game now. Louisville is not dead yet. Noah Locke now with 18 to lead the Cardinals. Down 9 here, and still time left. And it's been the defense that has allowed Louisville to get a little bit closer.
And really, Western has helped them the last 2 possessions. Those were relatively quick shots that did not need to be taken. You know, you got a chance to take off 12, 13 more seconds on 2 possessions. That's 25, 30 seconds you can take off the clock. Just not smart. And now here comes the full court pressure, and let's face it, Western has struggled. Western turns the ball over 14 times a game. They're not a great ball handling team, and they're struggling with this pressure a little bit.
You saw that note, 9 straight wins for Louisville. 2008 was the last time Western Kentucky beat Louisville. And this rivalry goes back a long time. McKnight in traffic.
Good play there by Justice, coming to help. He came from the other side of the floor, seeing McKnight was in trouble, came to help. Really smart play by Justice.
Anderson against Locke. Shot clock's down. McKnight, it's a 3. And it hits nothing. And so here comes Louisville now, down 9 with 1:44 left.
At least you used the whole 30 seconds. Obviously, you don't want to shoot an air ball, but...
I think another thing that a lot of people nationally don't know is that Western Kentucky is one of the winningest programs in college basketball history.
Oh, that was a travel. I agree with the crowd.
Wheeler a screen. West driving. Nice give. And Wheeler flushes. A quick 2. Lead is 7. McKnight's doubled. Strong man.
I would try one more possession without fouling. One more. If they're down 7 again, then they're going to have to foul. If they get to 5, they may not have to foul again.
And you don't want to foul certainly this late in the clock.
No, now you don't want to foul.
Anderson driving, and there's the foul.
8 seconds on the shot clock.
Mason Faulkner. That's his second. CBS Sports did a list of the greatest college basketball programs of all time. I believe it was a couple years ago. Western Kentucky was 20th on that list in the country.
Well, they had a guy named Jim McDaniels that was one of the great players ever in the history of the school. He's up there in the rafters somewhere, but they played Villanova in that Final Four in 1971. It was Villanova, Western Kentucky, UCLA, obviously, who won it. Villanova, UCLA, Western Kentucky. I should know, but I'm blank right now. But I know those were 3.
Louisville trying to hang in, down 8. All right, let's go back to 2008. Rick Pitino and number 3 Louisville. Ken McDonald and the Hilltoppers. This is in Nashville. A.J. Slaughter went for 25. Stephon Pettigrew had 17 and 12. Slaughter and Western Kentucky upset the number 3 Cardinals, 68-54. That's the last win in the series. 9 straight for Louisville. Rick Stansbury is this close to ending that drought. And what a release it would be for this city, for this community, to win this ball game.
They need to make a stop here.
Locke, double team, falling away. That's a clutch bucket, and it's a 6-point game with 46 seconds left. Locke has got 20.
They got a foul. They can't leave 16 seconds to go down that much. I think they need to foul.
Justice finds McKnight.
I think they need to foul.
Keep away. There's the foul. Ooh. That was close to a flagrant. I think he got the hand up a little higher than he wanted. 30 seconds left.
That wasn't good clock management. You know what I mean? Why, if you're going to foul with 15 seconds, as soon as if you want to get one trap and get one trap, as soon as you cross the half court, you got to foul. You would have had 10 more seconds. They're going to look at it. I think they might look at it.
Louisville calls a timeout. 6-point game. Down 6 and out of timeouts. Louisville, when they send Western Kentucky to the line, it's 2 shots. The Hilltoppers in their community. Louisville showed up yesterday with a bus loaded with toys for the kids in this area. Tornado relief. Crowd was here early. They watched their football team win a bowl game today. Bailey Zappi set the all-time NCAA record for touchdown throws in a season, 62. And you can just feel they're ready to take the roof right off of this. if Western Kentucky can hold this lead.
Anderson hits them both. Big free throw.
He's got to go now. Can't get a shot.
Lock. Anderson the rebound.
Back to the line, Josh Anderson.
Really nice performance today by Western Kentucky.
And Anderson in particular, a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds off the bench, off a very short bench.
I mean, obviously Louisville playing without their best player didn't help. No Malik Williams, but their defense today was not up to the task.
Justice.
The wait is over. 9 straight losses to Louisville.
It was intense. It was emotional. And it is a huge win for Western Kentucky.
You know, I don't care who wins these games, but being here with what's going on, it's nice for these people to go home happy today.
Sellout crowd and a 10-point win for Western Kentucky. For Steve Lapis, Jenny Dell, our entire CBS Sports crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This, a presentation of CBS Sports. After the break, we'll send you back to Adam Zucker and the gang in our New York studio for Inside College Basketball presented by Progressive Insurance. Goodbye from Bowling Green.